welcome back to Geeky Ent. Now when I actually got my hands on the original Mirage comics, the hype and everything for that comic book was legit. It was dark, it was gritty, it was violent, and spoiler alert, cover your ears for the next 2 seconds, and I'll go ahead and wave my hands when I'm done spoiling it. Ready? Shredder gets killed in its first arc because Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird did not know if the comic was going to survive. So, to this day, that is what spawned the cartoon shows, the video games, the merchandise, the memorabilia, everything from the initial comic run. Now, for these 3 items, I went ahead and found them and got good deals on them, but these are all convention exclusives. One is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the other are New York Comic-Con exclusives. Now, these 3 sets, well, mainly just the 2 box sets I'm going to show you, are my 2 absolute favorite, more than the actual retro figures, because they're just amazing. And of course, what's amazing about them is that Neca made them. So first is April O'Neil. Now this was a San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusive, and back then I couldn't even get into Comic-Con. You're probably wondering, that's not April O'Neil, she's not wearing her yellow jumpsuit. In the comic book she was wearing a blue jumpsuit. Her hair was depicted exactly like this. You can see here turtles wore all red bandanas because that's how it was in the comic book. The initial comic book was black and white, so the only way you could tell the turtles apart were by the weapons that they were holding. However, April O'Neil looked exactly like this. She comes with 2 Mousers. 1 Mouser is actually damaged, so that's pretty cool to display a little bit here. But you can see the amount of detail that they put into April O'Neil. It's got the dark lines to have the accented joints and everything. It looks exactly like how she did in the comic book. Now, even the logo here is a depiction of the initial Mirage comic book. So of course you got your April O'Neil. Now we're going to go ahead and go into this next set. Now you can probably tell what's in here just by looking at the box. This was a New York Comic-Con exclusive, and unlike the video game boxes, this one actually opens up, and you can see here you got a little bit of a comic arc for the Shredder. This is actually how he was drawn initially. He didn't have that kooky, zany type personality like how it was in the cartoon show. This was a badass Shredder who had elite guards and everything, and he was an actual viable foe for the Turtles to contend with. So you can see here also the amount of detail within the figures. You have your elite guard, you got 2 foot soldiers, and you have Shredder himself with Krang. Now you can see there's not as much lines within Krang. That's because that's how he was portrayed in the comic book. Now you also got the backdrop of New York City, the metal accessories, the interchangeable hands. This Shredder is just flat out amazing because if you actually read the comic book, that's how you'll know and actually remember Shredder. Now what's cool is Loot Crate and NECA, again, are partnering up this time for 3 exclusive crates where they're going to go ahead and re-release this Shredder in a single pack, and you can go ahead and get that online now through Loot Crate if you're interested. They are also releasing an electrocuted turtle from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, and also a bunny suit Bebop and Rocksteady that was depicted in the classic cartoon series. So to continue on with this video, you can probably tell what's next, and this set for me and for turtle collectors is considered a holy grail when it comes to figures. This set was not easy to track down. And what I mean by not easy to track down is that there are a lot of bootlegs, a lot of knockoffs where they look exactly the same, but they are not official products and they're cheap and you can tell. But this one here are the original 4 turtles that were from the Mirage comics. And as you can tell, you really cannot tell them apart except for the weapons that they hold. However, on these figures, they each have different accents and different details with them. Either Michelangelo has a bigger eye bulging, he's got, you know, the metal nunchucks, the bandanas and the belts are swaying in different directions. The articulation within the figures are exactly how you'd want them to display. The articulation is exactly the same throughout the figures. They got neck joints and everything, but you can see on the back here, it starts off with a little description, specific accessories for each turtle. Now you can see here on the back, it commemorates, you know, the initial turtle run, and Neca made these figures specifically for that. Now, the reason why this is considered a holy grail is because this is what launched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If it wasn't for Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman to design these 4 turtles, none of this would be existing throughout history. This is a very beloved collection piece for me. Now, they do make them individually in what's called clamshell packaging, and each turtle has a diorama back piece. However, those individual figures can go up for anywhere. The cheapest one I saw was $300 for one turtle. This one was sold at New York Comic Con. This was what launched the whole series. And until then, they haven't released them since. So, if you are a diehard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, you probably remember the turtles from either the cartoon, or from the comics, or from the movies. But either way, everybody has something that they remember from their childhood, whether it be Star Wars, whether it be Nickelodeon TV shows. For me, it was always the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Early on as a kid, I also followed the Power Rangers, but they didn't hold a spot in my heart like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles do, still to this day. So until then, my friends, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and drop a like on it. Go ahead and comment, subscribe to our channel. And until then, don't forget to geek out, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Geek out.